Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome back. Welcome back. You braved us
Yeah,
again.
it's good to be back. Was it basically this time last year that I was
I
on?
think it was I think it was earlier. I think it was this year. I think it
Was it?
was it February or March? I don't know. My
Wow,
brain
honestly, it's such a
it might
blur.
have
I
been
was trying to think about when it was, and honestly, I can barely remember what 6 months
so
ago it
I
was.
know. I know. This year has just flown. It really has. And the music, like I don't know if you saw the memo from the Golden Guitars, and it was like a record breaking applications this year because there's just been so much music coming out.
Oh, it's nuts, and it's not even slowing down. Some years at this point of time, it starts to slow down. But like even just going on good old Spotify and seeing the release radar and thinking, wow, there's all this out. Like it's just crazy.
It's so much to think about, and it's so I like to look at the new releases and things that are coming out, and the differences between the music. Like there's so many new sounds coming out. Nobody's sounding the same. It's actually really exciting. I love it.
Yeah, I agree. I think this year for me, like just seeing so many artists, I suppose just daring to just be themselves. I think it sometimes can be really tricky in the industry. Is that you're sort of expected to fit a certain mold, and then you just at some point just say, you know what, I'm just going to do this for me, and then see. Hopefully, it goes okay. So I think there's been a
Exactly.
lot of that this year, which is great. I think artists having control over their sound is always a great thing.
I do too, and I think we're much more accepting of different sounds now. So it's allowing that bit of creative freedom, isn't it? Letting
Yeah,
people do
absolutely.
it. Yeah. And how have you been? Your album's been out for a few days now. It's the 30th today, isn't it? And it came out so middle of October. Tell us a little bit about how that's feeling. And I know it's been such a long time since you finished it, but how excited is it to get out in the world?
Yeah, honestly, it's the best feeling. Because recording it like literally almost a year ago now, it's takes so long to put stuff out, but yeah, it's so great. It's something like the album itself is something I'm really proud of. I love how it's turned out, and I think some releases I go into feeling nervous, but I think this year I just felt really excited just to
Yeah.
share it. You never know what people are going to think, but for me, it was just because I just felt so proud of it. I just was so excited to put it out, and now it's out. It's can't wait to play some shows, support it, and yeah, share it live because I think the album was really made to be a live album. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Have
been
you
good.
had have you had a chance to do that before the release? Play some of those songs that obviously hadn't been released to the world yet, just to feel what they were like live.
Yeah, we've snuck a few in over the last couple of shows, which has been really exciting. And it's always really weird, when you do that. Like you just don't know how it's going to come
Yeah.
across, or people dig it. But yeah, thankfully people seem to like them, and I think like with this album, because when we were in the studio recording it, we literally live tracked every song. So taking it from the studio to the stage has actually been really organic. So it's can't wait to play more of them.
I can't wait to see more of it. I think it's exciting. And Jan just popped in the comments. She said it's best to be your true self. Absolutely. I think that's one
Absolutely.
important artist. It's one of the most important things to do. Chris he had visitors from out of town, so he couldn't go to the gigs that he wanted. Don't you hate that?
Yeah, I think Chris take him to the
You'll
gig.
hear
I
him.
reckon.
That's what I reckon. Take them to the gig. If they don't like it when they get there, they will by the time they've finished.
Exactly.
But yes, enjoy your dinner. We'll see you later on when you get back, Chris. But yeah, your current single, "The Painting," is the current single, but your album came out. Tell us a little bit about the current single, and then have you got a favorite song on the album at the moment that you'd pick?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So the paint. Actually, you know what I'll do? Just since I'm on my phone, there's no excuse. So this is the actual painting that it was
I
based
love
on.
this. Love
Yeah.
that.
So it was pretty much a painting that my dad did. I was actually on the phone to him today, and I still forgot to ask when he actually did it. But I'm fairly certain it was before I was born.
Yeah,
But
right.
yeah, it was just sitting in storage, and over the pandemic, as you do, you sort your life out. So we got a whole lot of stuff out of storage, and yeah, spotted that one and decided to call dibs with my siblings and took it home.
Yes.
And
Yep.
yeah, so now it just sits in the studio, that little home studio I've got here. And yeah, it was sort of as for the song, so I wrote it just after the my last album was released in 2021. And like, you know what the music industry was like at the time. It was sort of
It was
completely, yeah, still in shambles from the pandemic, and yeah, such a weird time. And I think that year really took it out of me a bit. Sort of what I was saying before, you know, sometimes when you go into an album release, you feel, you know, nervous and stressed.
Yes.
And I would say that year I definitely felt that, particularly when you're trying to sell tickets to shows and sell records, you know, because I was a madman and decided to get the last album on vinyl too, during a pandemic when I couldn't do shows. But
wow.
yeah, so sort of coming out of that, and yeah, feeling like not even sure if I wanted to do another album, to be honest. I remember literally saying it to my bandmate on the way on after our final show. We're going back to his car, and I said, "Look, I don't know what the future holds for music." But I was just, I think I was just going through a period of time where I was really like weighing up, is it worth it? And yeah, I was literally just sitting here looking at the painting, and I was sort of just got thinking about, you know, my dad and when he painted this, because, you know, as I said, I think I was even born when he painted this, and I'm fairly certain he wasn't really painting when I was really young either. So sort of like a previous life thing that he used to do. I sort of thought about it and about why he used to paint, and it was really just for one reason only. It's because he just really loved it and he really enjoyed it. He painted, you know, a heap of things that literally never left the house or the garage, but really beautiful artwork. And I was sort of just looking at it thinking, you know, he's literally made this and it's really beautiful. It should be on a better wall than my studio wall. And he did it for no other reason but just because he loved it. And it sort of just reminded me, like, you know, I make music because, you know, I love it, not because of, you know, the releasing, even though we love to gig and to put the music out and share it. But ultimately it all comes down to the fact that I just love to write songs, and, you know, the experience of, you know, going to the studio with my bandmates and recording is just stuff that I cherish, you know. So so that sort of made me think, okay, you know what, I need to just stop being silly and plan another album. And I decided, you know, I should just try to write a poem about this painting now while I'm having this moment. So that's the lyrics. And then when I wrote it, I was thinking, damn, these are nice lyrics. I wish I turned it into a song. And then, thankfully I was playing around with some chords a couple of months after that. And yeah, that's the song you hear basically. So yeah, that's the story behind the song.
The song. And do you do that? Do you often write a poem rather than a song, or is that just a in that moment thing?
To be honest, that was pretty much the one time I really have done that. Sometimes I'll write lyrics with the idea of them being a song. Like, say, honestly, sometimes I'll write when I'm on the train or when I'm just walking. You know, you come up with an idea, you write the lyrics, you literally hum into your phone. You're looking like a crazy person on the street, as you do, you know. Exactly. But yeah, no, it was a very different writing experience, especially because I never thought it would be a song. And then when I just decided, you know what, I'm going to give it a crack and see if I can turn it into a song. And I'm like, legitimately not even kidding. It was like, first I was like, I'm going to go capo 8, and then I was like, I'll try this key, and it just happened to fit. And I got so lucky, honestly, with the melody. So sometimes it works like that. Other times you'll work on it for hours and get nowhere. So you've got to take the wins when you get them, you know.
Exactly right. Well, you are sitting there with your guitar. Would you like to play us a song still?
Yeah, for sure. May as well play the song I'm talking about.
Well, I will give you the room and everyone can enjoy.
Yeah, awesome. I fell into a painting my father gave to me. He told me a story of a life he didn't see, for the blue of the skies matched the veins to his heart, and tears down his face when his world ceased to start. And the browns of his robe like the dirt on his feet, from a life well walked despite walking in defeat. The painting was like quicksand, I sunk down to my knees. I took in a deep breath beneath the eucalyptus trees. The wind danced upon my face and sung for lonely men. It was here in the nameless the dream began to end. I tried to yell on out, words roll like a sphere, but his word was made for silence and mine was made to hear. Mm-hmm. 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 For he played the game of dreamers and drowned in his resolve. Said life ain't for dreaming, there's too much risk involved. For the world that we create, the great gift of lies, rather sell my soul to hate and drink myself to die. Still I fell inside his painting, the colors I absorbed. The feelings left me waiting, the dreams left me torn. I walked around scattered, I guess that is my life. If he is my father, I'll be his son till I die.
Thank you so much. I love hearing acoustic music straight live like that. It's just so special. Thank you so much.
Thanks for letting me play it.
Anytime. You can come and play for us anytime. Now, I know that we've just spoken about the single, but the album is available now. Winner Take Nothing. Tell us a little bit about that title and even the artwork, because I love the artwork for this.
Yeah, absolutely. So, no, the title, it's a really honestly funny how the title came about. So sometimes, like when you're writing songs, you just, a lot of it is just word vomit, to be honest. So sometimes you just like, you don't even know what you're writing half the time. So I wrote one of the songs on the album called Song for a Room. I was writing that, and in the song, when I'm just writing it, I referenced a book by Ernest Hemingway called Winner Take Nothing. So I'm like, as I'm going back through the song and the lyrics, I'm like, why did I reference that book? Because it's so, I honestly I don't even think I'd finished reading it when I mentioned it. And wow. I'd only read, because it's a collection of short stories, so you can sort of read it as you please, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I thought, okay, well, if I mention it in a song, I should probably read it again and properly, probably a good idea. Okay. But in doing that, I sort of realized, so as I was reading, I realized that the book was written to be like a post-World War I book. So it's a series of short stories set in that period of time, and it's about how society had sort of been beaten and broken from the war and having to come back out, rediscover who they are, discover what their purpose is, and it sort of covers all facets of life, and it's a really amazing book, honestly. But yeah, when I was sort of going through the songs, literally I was in the studio going through the songs and trying to think of a title for the album. I just kept coming back to just naming it after that book. Every time I would try something different, I would just always go back to that title. So I thought, nah, I'm just going to have to do it. And as it happens, it's literally 100 years since the book was released. Yeah. So clearly a sign. I'm just going to take that as fate. So yeah, that's where the title came from, because I thought there's a lot of sort of connections to that period of time, coming out of such a unprecedented time for that society, to us coming out of a pandemic, and
right.
And not only that, we're coming out of that, and there's still we see war on the news every day, and it's just like, where do we fit in? What is our purpose? And how do we get back to normality? What is normal?
Yes.
So I
That's
thought,
right. Yeah.
yeah, the album sort of reflects that, I think, a lot. So it was like a happy coincidence that I referenced it in the song, but I'll give my subconscious the credit for that one, because I really I locked into it. But yeah, and that's sort of where the like with the artwork
Yes.
section, maybe we'll show it
I
as
was
well.
gonna say,
Got
yeah, that'd be
it.
good. I love the
Yeah.
artwork. I think it's so great. Who did the artwork?
So it's yeah, one of my friends named James Alley. So he's got a company called Metagraphics. And yeah, he's an incredible artist. He did the cover of my last album as well. But yeah, I'm very lucky to have such a talented friend. But yeah, I pretty much I mocked up sort of an idea of what I've sort of wanted for the cover, and he's honestly just turned it into something a million times better. So yeah, and I think it sort of fits the album title pretty well too. You know, boxers just want to fight while the bomb's going off. It's like, what have you won? I thought it was quite
I
fitting.
love it. Actually,
Yeah.
there's we've got a close up there of the cover. For those that didn't see it a few minutes ago, I think it's just so well done. It's quite detailed too.
Yeah, and I even, when he did it, I didn't even realize this at first, but the city in the background is Brisbane.
Oh,
And yeah, honestly, I was like, oh, the city looks great. And because I'm a Gold Coaster, so even though I live in Brisbane, I suppose like the Brisbane sky, I don't know, I'm not,
yes.
I see it and I love it, but I would not like that. And
No.
I showed somebody and they're like, wow, Brisbane. And I'm like, what?
Oh,
So, no, but that's just
yeah,
like,
I knew
yeah,
that.
the
Yeah.
details and care he put into that artwork was just phenomenal, and I'm very lucky that he did such a good job, because, yeah, it's just, yeah, it's like, I mean, I suppose that's I think when you're dealing with records, the record era of music, I think always just put such a spotlight on
Yes.
album covers. It was always important to have something, because it's sort of the
It's what
attention
dragged
getter more
people
than
in.
the music
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's
So
right. Yeah, it's what used to drag
yeah.
people in. You'd have to go to a store, and you can those people are going in to buy one album, and so you're competing against all those other album covers that are there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I always think
Yeah.
with album covers, I want my album covers to look like something really cool. So someone who's never heard of me, has no interest in my music, sees it and thinks, "Man, this looks like a cool album. I should check it out." So
Exactly.
that's
Yeah,
always the goal with album covers, I reckon.
absolutely. Well, I'm sure that that's what's happening now. Have you had a lot of comments back on what people are thinking of it so far?
Yeah, well, thankfully all positive, so I'm very relieved.
Yes.
But yeah, it's been great, honestly, and just hearing how people connect with it differently. I think, as a songwriter, I think that sometimes is one of the biggest thrills, when people tell you what they've taken from a song, and the best part is most of the time it's not what you put in, like it's completely different to what you feel.
Yeah.
And I think it's just that it's why, when you're growing up, you love music, because you hear music that you can connect to and think, this person knows me. And then you become the songwriter and you realize people connect with your work. And you've lived completely different lives, but there's something in it that says, what I've gone through, or what I'm
Yes.
going through. And it's such a powerful thing, I think.
It
So
is.
yeah, thankfully, yeah, people have been enjoying it. So hopefully that keeps going. People keep enjoying it.
I do too, and I'm sure that they will. There's lots of people putting comments here. Paula has jumped in and she said that she loves How Are You? And she loves your music.
Thanks, Paula.
And Jonathan's loves the artwork. I do too. The artwork is gorgeous. And there's lots and lots of comments coming from you. People loving the performance that you just did. But I guess for you at the moment, like now that it's out, is there a song that you just really couldn't wait to play once it came out? Is there a favorite that you're looking forward to doing in those live sets the most?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I've been able to test a couple of them live so far, which have been really fun. But there's a song that I haven't gotten a chance to play yet, that I'm really excited to play live. And that's a song called Billy and Klein. It's the fifth song on the album. But it's a song that I couldn't. It's funny, I wrote it as a folk song, like completely straight folk song. And then I had this crazy idea not long before we were in the studio, and I said, hey guys, like, what if we just try to make it a band song and see how it goes? And with very little planning, we did that, and I love how it's turned out. It was probably like our favorite song to sort of put together and then add percussion to and do crazy things to. So yeah, we've never played that live. We haven't even honestly practiced it since recording it. So
wow.
yeah, I know. Well, so like some of my band members are in Brisbane, so when we get together for a show, it's like a week long bit of fun. So yeah, we'll be doing that very soon and getting those like the other songs down. But yeah, that's the song I really can't wait to play live, I think.
And speaking of live, I know you've got a few shows coming up. We've got a couple on here. Tell us where we can find you, and can we still get tickets for these shows or any others that you've got coming?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got the Brisbane launch on November 18th at Stranded Bar, which is a really, really beautiful like little boutique bar in Brisbane City, which will be great. And then on December 1st, I've got the other album launch at Home of the Arts on the Gold Coast, which I'm really excited for. I mean, I'm excited for both, but as I said, as a Gold Coaster, I used to go to shows and go to Home of the Arts to watch movies. It was just always a place that I always just loved going and checking out. And I've always wanted to play there. So when it came time to book this show, and this is 4 years since the last show with the band on the Gold Coast, I was like, where do I want to play? And I was like, okay, I need to try Hotter first, and if we can get in there, I'll be very happy. And thankfully, they were keen to host the show as well. So can't wait.
Wonderful? It was meant to be. It was definitely meant to be. If people want to get a copy of your new album or any other music or merch, where's the best place for them to reach out? What is it? Your website, the best part? I know you've got a link tree and socials, but where's the best place to get the album?
Yeah, so Bandcamp is probably the main one. I sort of funnel everything through there, but Bandcamp, the link tree is great. The website, jordanmerrick.com.au will work. If none of the above work, just literally drop me a message on Instagram or Facebook, and we can work something out. So yeah, definitely reach out if I think Bandcamp only likes PayPal for some reason, which is a bit annoying. So I don't know. I always sort of took credit card, and then people kept messaging me saying, I don't have a PayPal account. And I'm like, I don't know. Why don't they do regular card?
You would think that they do both, but yeah, I use PayPal because then I don't have to keep getting my card out of my wallet.
Oh, I know, me too. It's so convenient. People, that's why they're just trying to get people onto a good thing,
Exactly, that's right. It's made for lazy shoppers, and it works well.
Absolutely.
So have you already started writing? Like, given that this one's sort of been done for so long, have you already started writing for your next lot of releases? How are you going with all of that?
Yeah, no, I've done a lot of writing, thankfully. That's the beauty of being sort of like a reclusive musician who just likes to write a lot of songs and watch too many movies. But no, yeah, I've got a lot of stuff written for the next album. I don't know, like I'm sort of in the opposite frame of mind as I was when I finished Waiting Boys, where I was like, am I ever going to do this again? Whereas this time I'm like, I know I'm going to do it again. It's just a matter and I'm pretty confident I've got the songs for the next album ready, but it's just a matter of, when. I'm going to probably take a bit of a break at the end of the year and reassess. Yeah, because I realized, and this is the thing, with music and chasing a crazy dream like this, you put a lot of things on the back burner. And one of the things I realized is I've never ever traveled overseas, and I'm like, man, I'm 30. I really need to experience some of that. So I think that's definitely on the bucket list that I need to tick off next. So I'm hoping I will do that at some point next year. And but yeah, honestly, sometimes
where's the first stop gonna be?
Well, I'm tossing up between Europe and America. So, Europe would be more like the ancient history nerd in me wanting to come out. And half my family are Austrian as well. So it'd be great to go see where they grew up and see some of the cousins I've only ever met once when they visited us 15, 20 years ago. So, so stuff like that would be really nice. And then I think America, because of the musical history there, and it'd be amazing just to go, check it out, play a show, even, who knows, honestly.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah. Even
yeah,
if you just ask, you got to do something.
I just want to hop on a plane and end up in another country, and I think I'll be happy. So
Yeah.
and then come back
Long as you're
and write
enjoying
some more and release, So
it. And there's still lots more comments coming through, guys. I will go through them at the end if I've missed any. I'm sorry. I'm driving solo. Scott is not here tonight. So Jonathan said some people do buy albums for the artwork. Yeah, to display them on walls. I have seen lots of people do that. Yes. I love that we can reach different people with different things in an album. I love that side of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
What will we see you in Tamworth in January?
I really hope so. I'm still looking into all of that. I think the worst part about being a self-managed musician who's also planning all this album stuff is you sort of put a lot of stuff on the back burner. So I was doing an interview the other day and someone was like, "Oh, Jordan, it's 13 weeks." And I'm like, "Until?" It's like Tamworth. I'm like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it's nearly January." That's the first thing that went to my head. I can't believe it's that close to
it's
2024. I know. You think I'd know that considering I planned an album for October. I should be, it's 2.5 months before, the new year. But you never think of it like that.
No, you don't. And there's only one more day of October left. So
yeah. Halloween.
Yeah, true. Are you stocked up on all the lollies in case anyone knocks on your door?
I'm hoping people don't expect lollies from our house because I will not be home. So I hope they get chocolates though.
Yeah. I would stock up, but I'd eat them before they got here, so it's just better to not stock up.
Yeah, that would be that would definitely be my biggest temptation too. Yeah.
Once they're here, it's like, well, they may as well be eaten, and once they're gone, I can't touch them again. So it wouldn't work.
Blame the ghosts and ghouls. They made you eat the chocolate. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
Sorry,
it's like
kids.
Birthday cake, calorie free. Lollies must be calorie free for Halloween.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much for coming back to talk to us again. I hope that we get to see you, if not before the end of the year, but in January in Tamworth. We might be able to do an interview in person once you get that all booked in. But I think this is a great way for you to finish off the year and finally get this music out there for us all to enjoy.
Yeah, no, it's been great. Thanks for having me back on. Like, once again, I can't believe it's actually been less time than I thought, but just goes to show what a whirlwind the year is.
It has. This year has just been a whirlwind. I think also, like, we've gone from being, like you said, like music sort of come to a halt and for so long, and now it's just going so quick because we're still trying to get used to being busy again, and as you said before, finding out the new normal. How we work in this industry. But I think we're definitely getting there.
Yeah, absolutely. We just got to keep it up, and I think it's only going to get better and better. So we'll make sure of it, right?
We will. Exactly right. And I'm going to get you to I'm going to read that book that you were telling us about because that sounds really interesting.
Yeah, when I say no, it's really good. It's a fantastic short story collection, and it's not too long. You can get through it pretty quickly too. So
I like the short stories because if I can sit and read it in one go, I remember it. Whereas sometimes it'll be a few days before I get back and I think, what did I read last? I have to go backwards. So short stories work.
Yeah, no, they're great. They're definitely and there's no better short story writer than Hemingway. Honestly, he's the master of it. So.
That's exactly right. Exactly. Well, thank you so much for coming and talking to us. And everybody, before you head off, don't forget to go up to the link tree, which is in the comments, and follow Jordan on all of his socials. But you can order the vinyl and merchandise all through the links that are in there. So head up to the top of the comments. It's in the top 2 comments and make sure you go and have a listen if you haven't already heard the full album. I know a lot of you already have because I've had messages from people. So, but let us know what you think in the comments when you have listened to it all as well. But yeah, we will see you very soon, John. It feels like, it will come quickly.
Yeah, I know. Well, it'll feel like next week, so I'm sure I'll see you soon. But yeah, thanks again for having me on. It's been great.
Anytime. And we'll see you guys all on Wednesday night. Keep an eye out on the pages because they'll be up very soon. We'll see you later.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you for listening. We hope you've enjoyed today's program. See you next time with the latest with Country Kickback.